Make sure you check him out, waitingfornextyear.com. He is Craig Lindell. Yeah, he does get a big cheer.
No, he's a good guy.
Cheer. Still waiting on, we're having technical difficulties with Josh Cribbs. It kind of bums me out. And I got to tell you, there's only one person to blame, and that is this man right there.
Dude, I'm flagging myself all day.
Yeah. You are flagging yourself. Hey, we saw, who did I see walk in? Somebody was talking to him. I thought somebody came back here
to rip him?
Yeah.
No, he's getting ripped
Did
on.
Spastic Dave rip you? Did he come back here?
Yep, he did.
Okay.
And was he yelling at you, or was he?
He was just ripping me a new one. Oh, look who's calling in.
All right, we're going to try this again in a second. We'll see if we can get some audio going.
Cleveland Kate's ripping him on Twitter, too. So
Who? Eric the referee?
Eric asked the referee, Eric the referee if he threw a flag at himself when his Twitter got hacked.
Oh, his Twitter got hacked last week? All right, so are we good now? You want to give this one more shot?
We're good.
We're good. All right, one more shot. Josh Cribbs, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Josh.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. All right, life is good, Josh. Why don't you take us through and give us your Cribbs notes just on yesterday's game so we can try to figure this thing out and get some common sense from somebody that understands the game better than we do.
Well, last week I said that, they had to stop Matthew and just be consistent on the defensive line. The pressure wasn't getting to him, as you saw. He was able to throw 4 touchdown receptions, and that was the key to the victory, not being able to put pressure on a quarterback of that caliber. And I heard him say, just a few minutes ago that he's not the, top 5 quarterback, but he's in the top 10, playing right now. And playing, Detroit Lions, you have to account for the quarterback. And when playing against Cleveland, you don't necessarily need to account for the quarterback. That's the difference between the two teams, the quarterback being a factor. Just the simple fact that the utilization of, talented guys using their, athletes, that was another key to victory. Stopping the run game, the passing game, backfield. Reggie Bush was allowed to catch, huge passes out of the backfield and rush for, yards against a good, Cleveland Brown defense. Their consistency week after week must pick up. They had, great weeks before. They got a reputation for themselves in the way they play, put pressure on the quarterback, and stop the run game. They didn't do that, as much yesterday. They need to be more consistent, as well as the DBs. And throwing those passes, you hated to see that against a great Cleveland Brown defense that been playing all, good coverage from Joe Hayden, and you just didn't see that yesterday with those 4 TDs. It was kind of saddening to see. And then just the simple fact that the offensive playmakers, even though, guys showed up, it wasn't enough. And you talk about when Hoyer is in there, they found a way to make a game. They found a way to, to get a win, and they just couldn't do that, under Brandon Wheaton. And that's when a lot of guys are saying, okay, we need to trade this guy. Why isn't Cameron, Jordan, getting more touches? That's not, Wheaton's style. His style was throwing the ball downfield, trying to attack. When the Lions took it away, it was like the offense stalled out. So, just finding ways to win, would be that third key. And they just couldn't get it done, and you don't have to, it's no miracle to winning. It's running the offense smoothly. And let's just, put the facts where it is. Brandon Wheaton, he's struggling right now, finding ways to win, finding, ways to put the, playmakers in position to win and run that offense smooth. And, that's been, plaguing him as the leader of this Browns team.
All right, Josh, let's talk about, give us some insight on the clubhouse, or in the locker room right now, because, and I'm trying to take this to the positive. If you're DeQuell Jackson and you're looking at your guys on defense who are giving you your heart and soul on every play, and it feels like they're out there every play, and guys on defense have to be looking around going, what more do we have to do to help? Why isn't the offense helping us? By the same token, you got a guy like Joe Thomas who's on the offensive line who definitely deserves better for the play that he's given this team. How do leaders like that enable the guys around them to stay positive when it feels like the whole world saw what Brian Hoyer can do, and now we're watching what Brandon Wheaton is? How do you keep the team on track when you're a leader, not a coach, a leader in that locker room?
You remind your team that you're pros, that this is the NFL. You're going to face great teams day in and day out who are doing it just like you are. You remind them of how good they played the last couple games, and you build on that. You don't necessarily harp on the bad things. When guys come in on Monday, they want to hear, positive reinforcement. They want to say, what, we can do better than we did, yesterday now for this week. They want to hear that positive reinforcement. How can we do better? They don't necessarily want to hear how they did bad or, why did they lose? They want to know, how can we win next time in a situation like that? And I think that's what the leaders would do. They'll say, hey, look up, pick your head up. We can get this done. We got this done in the past. We're a good football team. We lost the game, but we just won 2 in a row last couple weeks. So let's build on that. Let's accept this loss. Let's go back, and that's exactly what leaders like DeQuell Jackson and Joe Thomas will say. They'll say, let's go back to the drawing board. We're playing another team. We're going to scheme them up good. We're good on defense. We're good on offense. Let's show it this week. And they're going to try to go back to the drawing board and build on the positive things from the game, because there are some positive things. And if you look at last week and the week before, how they won, they found a way to win. The game could have easily went the other way, and sometimes with the other team, if they would have completed passes, the games would have went the other way. So, they just need to find a way to win and find that niche that's keeping them in these ball games and it's helping them get, victories. And, I don't think that it's so far-fetched, from this team to accept that information, from the other guys on the team to accept, like, hey, we didn't play too bad. When you look at the film, it's not always as bad as it seemed, and it's not always as good as it seemed. So I think this Browns team is not too hurt. They'll rally back next week, and they'll come back hard, ready to play.
Josh, I heard, being in the locker room yesterday and covering the game, I can't tell you how many questions I heard to the different guys on the team, from DeQuell to some of the other guys. Are you still a Brandon Weeden guy? Do you still believe that Brandon Weeden can get this done? As a guy who's been in that locker room in situations after a loss like that, how do the players, how do they reconnect with this guy, knowing that Brandon Weeden really needs his team to be behind him right now, because this thing could go ugly quick?
Well, they want to see him work hard. They want to see him make efforts into correcting his mistakes, whether it be coming in early, meeting with the coaches, letting people see him put in that extra work. As long as his teammates know that he's working extra hard day in and day out in practice, trying to work on either throwing to the check down with Cameron or the running backs, throw better balls with the receivers, like either get the receivers and, together, throw with him to practice certain routes that he may have to throw next week in the game. They want to see that extra effort. The quarterback is the leader of the team. If everybody does their job and one person mess up, the quarterback, they can lose a football game. So they want to know that he's working as hard and he is taking it to heart as much as they are. So all he has to do this week to get them, his team rally behind him, is show the effort, the extra effort. Work a little harder, let everyone see it, and then go out there on game day and show it. They can't falter. The quarterback is the leader of the team. They live and die by the quarterback. And if he can show his effort, at least his team will be behind him. And I know when at times I've seen the quarterback try extra hard to win and he doesn't get it done, as long as his effort is there, it's up to the, that's the guy you got to go with until they make a decision to change the quarterback. But if he makes that effort, that extra effort, and trying to get the job done, the team will rally behind him.
All right, Josh, thank you. We're going to check in with you in a little bit. By the way, Josh, we're trying to get some questions here on Twitter, or if you get them, let's read them and do those in your next segment, too. So we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll have some questions for you in the next segment here as well.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Josh. Great job. Always appreciate it. All right, let's go from one Brown to another, and then we're going to get a couple other what was I going to say? We're going to get some tweets, and I got a couple questions for us, too, as well. Roger Chanoine, who used to play for the Browns, joins us here this morning, and thank you for waking up early with you. I saw you trying to get rid of the sleep in your eye there a couple seconds ago. I think everybody's doing that.
Hey, Roger.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here.
Hey,
It's even
Roger.
earlier where I am. I'm actually in Chicago.
Oh, you
okay.
are? You doing a little work?
Yeah.
Very nice. We appreciate you joining us in Central Time Zone this morning. Did you get a chance to watch the Browns game yesterday?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
And your thoughts on the game?
I was excited, especially the first half, you know, and things just kind of went the other way, and you know, things like that happen. I mean, that's the way this game is. You know, you got to take the ups with the downs, and you know, I think that you saw some positives, and you know, just like Crib said, you got to build on those positives and you know, address the issues, you know, the mistakes and things of that nature, but you can't ponder on them.
Roger, what were the positives that you saw yesterday?
Well, honestly, the way the team played at the start of the game, very consistent, very efficient. You know, there was some doubts, even myself, with how well Whedon was going to play. You know, and as I watched the game, to hear some of the things that was said just in regards to him not being criticized as much as he has been recently about, you know, holding the ball and things of that nature. The good thing is, anytime you have a good quarterback, he's willing to take that criticism and address it. And you could see where he was making those efforts during the first half to make good decisions, try and get the ball out a little faster and all of that. So those are the things that you build on, that he did do those things and made some strides from a couple of weeks ago.
And you look back at that too. Go back. Let's talk about the interception, the flip interception, Roger, from a perspective from a guy who's played and blocked for quarterbacks. Do you look at that as is it a guy who's trying to make a play, trying to do anything that he can in a position to get his team back? I mean, they were down by 7 at that point. Or do you chalk it up to, oh, it's another boneheaded play by Brandon Whedon? The fans want to jump all over him saying, oh, that's just another bad play by him. How do you look at it from a player's perspective when you're out there and you see something like that happen?
When something like that happens in the heat of the moment, you get frustrated initially, especially as an offensive lineman. One of the things we really get upset about our interceptions. But, you know, the reality is, if he wasn't trying, it would be different. He was really making an effort to try and make something happen. And that's what this league is really about. It's all about those second efforts. I mean, we watched Favre do it for years, where he would, you know, flick the pass out, and it would, if it worked, it was great. If it didn't work, he had became known for it. So people kind of took the good with the bad. So, I mean, I've seen other quarterbacks try and do it. I'm not a real big fan of it myself. I believe in securing the ball and you know, let's live the fight another day. But again, I think that his motives were positive. He was trying to make something happen, and he saw something that he thought was viable option, and he took the chance.
Roger, hey, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and I know you're in Chicago, so have a great day and head over to Cheesecake Factory if you can.
I'm gonna try my best to stay away from the Cheesecake Factory.
Thanks, Roger.